Today is a bonus reading. We are going to cover two chapters, Chapter 8 and Chapter 9, because they are both pretty short. These chapters are going to provide some revelation into Celeste's past, things that she wasn't aware of, and things that really startle Dr. Kramer. So we're going to get a little bit of answers today. All right, let's get started. Chapter 8, A Deep Sleep. It's so nice to see you, dear. He's running a little behind on his current appointment. Have a seat, and he'll be with you in a bit. Thanks, Jean. Celeste sat down as she scrolled through her email on her phone. When was Gia finally going to write? It had only been 4 days since she left, but a lot happens in 4 days. Celeste was dying to tell Gia about the Oakley incident. That girl had something coming to her. At least today's appointment would help relieve some of the stress she'd been carrying since Sunday. The dark shadows had been showing up more frequently, and Oakley was just one more log to add to the fire. Celeste? Dr. Kramer seemed happily anxious to see her. In a light pink dress shirt and gray tie, he appeared to be showing an even softer side today. Hope all has been steady and well since we last met. Just a reminder that today's appointment will run a bit longer. Yes, I know. I haven't got any other plans today, so take all the time you need. Celeste followed Dr. Kramer back into his office, where he guided her over to the gray Chase lounge. Go ahead and lie down while I dim the lights. Do I have your permission to record this session? I'd like to be able to keep a record of it in your file to refer to when needed. Sure, that would be fine. Celeste lay down as she watched Dr. Kramer adjust the lights and turn on the camera. His office looked even bigger from this angle and was definitely more relaxing in the natural light. Now, Celeste, first I need you to acknowledge to the camera that you are aware we will be recording this. Celeste looked at the camera and waved. Great. Now, close your eyes, and I want you to begin taking deep breaths and releasing them slowly through your mouth. Starting with your head, I want you to relax your mind. Feel the tension as it escapes down through your shoulders, your arms, and out your fingertips. Relax all of your muscles as if you were playing dead. If her previous appointments had started out this way, then her progress would probably be much farther along. Something about this relaxation method made therapy seem more like a spa appointment. Celeste, what I'd like for you to do now is open your eyes and look directly into mine. Dr. Kramer bent over her with one arm supporting his weight on top of the chair. If anyone else had bent over her in such a manner, this would feel a little awkward. Because Dr. Kramer was so professional, good-looking, and well-mannered, it didn't bother Celeste one bit. In a moment, I'm going to count from the number 1 to the number 10. By the time I reach 10, your body will be in a more relaxed state than it is now. Let's begin. 1, relax your mind. 2, relax your body. 3, 4, the tone and sound of my voice are calming and soothing you. 5, 6, 7, allow all conscious thoughts to fade from your mind. 8, 9, 10, close your eyes at this time. I request that you do not open your eyes until I ask you to do so at the end of our session today. If at any time you feel that your body needs to move and adjust accordingly to help you feel more comfortable, you'll find that you'll be able to do so without a break in your relaxation. You will listen to me and listen to my voice alone. Listen to me and allow your thoughts to connect with what I say. I will now count down from 5 to 1, with each count taking you into a deeper and more relaxed state of mind. You will feel as though you are asleep. 5, you are feeling more relaxed. 4, you are going deeper and deeper into sleep. 3, you are getting even deeper and deeper into sleep. 2, relax. And 1. The sound of my voice continues to carry you further and further into a relaxed state of mind. Over the course of the next 10 minutes, in a very soft and commanding voice, Dr. Kramer continued to bring Celeste into a deeper state of mind. Her body seemed to drift off, almost into another dimension of existence. Sounds were tuned out from the world around her. All other senses seemed to be on hold, and all she could hear was the soothing tone of Dr. Kramer's voice. Celeste, your mind and body have brought you here today to accomplish some emotional healing. In order to begin this process, I will need you to think back upon an earlier time in your life to any situation or feelings that you believe to have been unresolved. Is there anything you can remember? Adam's death. Celeste began to cry. Can you tell me more about that? Why did he die? It wasn't my fault. It hurts that they think he killed himself. Who does? My parents. They haven't forgiven him, and they haven't forgiven me for something I didn't do. How do you know? They get upset when I mention it. They don't want me to talk about my gift because it reminds them of what happened to Adam. They get upset because they haven't let it go. They can't let go of the hurt. I am a reminder of their hurt. Going back earlier in your life, is there anything else that you feel has been unresolved? Yes, I'm a shadow. Adam absorbs the light, and I stand behind him in his shadow. Can you elaborate? He can do so many wonderful things. They're so proud of him. But me, I have no talents. I see things and I hear things, and it bothers them. They tell me to be quiet, and they tell me I'm lying for attention. Adam protects me, and I stand behind him. How does this make you feel? I feel embarrassed, worthless, and I have no friends. I stay quiet at school. I question myself, and I wonder if they are right. How would it be different if they believed you? I wouldn't be afraid. I'd have more confidence in myself. I would be closer to them. What are you afraid of? There is darkness. It follows me. It wants to hurt me, and it has tried. I face it on my own. I feel alone and scared. I have no help, no one on my side. Can you tell me more about the darkness? It's black. It's cold. It tries to draw energy from me. I get weak. I get tired. I get sick, and I lose consciousness. It knows me, and it has a plan. It won't give up until I'm dead. Celeste, you are strong. You have the ability to fight whatever is hurting you and making you scared. I want you to know that, and I want you to believe that. I will help you. Dr. Kramer stood up and looked out the window at the nearby hills as he gathered his thoughts on how to proceed. Celeste, I want you to go back further in your life. When did all this begin? What is your earliest memory of anything that could have caused this dark energy to follow you? We are waiting. We are happy. The meeting is about to begin. The two candidates enter at the front of the room, and the plans are presented. They are the best candidates for the position, and the energy is very positive. The one having authority asks all in attendance to vote. We all vote, but the decision is not unanimous. There is a division and an upheaval. The party of the candidate who lost the votes lashes out at all of us. Their candidate is very upset about the loss, and a civil suit ensues. The laws cannot be altered or adjusted, and the civil war cannot be sustained. The candidate and his party are cut off from the people. They are exiled. They make threats and warn us that this is not over. They make plans to finish what they started, to seek vengeance. Dr. Kramer paused in place, caught off guard by what he was hearing. Then what happens? We prepare. In order to complete the plan, we prepare for the difficult mission ahead. I'm happy to do my part. They need me to do my part. But I know that the others are trying to stop me. Their mission is to thwart my mission at any cost. What is your mission? I can't say, but I have been given the tools I need to fulfill it. What tools have you been given? I see and know the future as the present. I see what others cannot. How will these tools help you? They will not help me. They will help others. Who are these others? I cannot say. With that, Dr. Kramer glanced at the clock on the wall. Time was up. Celeste, time has run out on us, and soon I will awaken you. Your eyelids may feel rather heavy, like the eyelids of someone deeply asleep, almost glued together. As I help you begin to wake up, you'll notice just how relaxed and comfortable you are going to feel, both now and later. I'm going to count from 5 to 1. As I get closer to 1, with each number, you will begin to feel more and more awake. When I reach 1, you will open your eyes, wide awake and refreshed. Here we go. 5. That's right, you're beginning to feel air against your skin. 4. You now hear the ticking of the clock on the wall and the cars driving by outside. 3. 2. 1. You will now open your eyes, wide awake and refreshed. Celeste opened her eyes. There she saw Dr. Kramer's kind and gentle face looking back, just as if she'd awoken from a deep sleep and a vivid dream. She sat still, trying to recall the images she had just seen in her mind, which were suddenly interrupted by Dr. Kramer's voice. Celeste, what you just shared with me has opened up so many questions. Do you remember any of it? Celeste looked up, trying to see the images in her mind. It's okay for now. Don't worry about trying to recall the details. It's apparent that you were a part of something very monumental earlier in your life. This seems to have been the seed that planted your fear. You mentioned a great deal about your family, especially your parents. In fact, I think it would be very beneficial to invite them to our next appointment to confront some of these issues. Would that be okay? Her parents coming to an appointment? Would they even want to? Would it upset them having to bring up the past, her gift, and learn about her frightening experiences? Wouldn't it open up a whole new can of worms? Walter, I don't know. I don't know if it would be a good idea to involve them in my therapy. Weren't they the ones who insisted that you come to therapy? Yes, but, well then, don't you think because they have already shown interest in your well-being that they would show interest in wanting to help? They are your parents. He had a point. It's very simple. All you need to do is ask them. If they say yes, then wonderful. If they say no, then that's okay. We'll continue moving forward. Do you think it will make a big difference in my progress if they come? Yes, I believe so. You seem to be an ideal example of what is referred to as the looking glass self. The way you see yourself is based on your understanding of how others perceive you. The way your parents perceive you seems to have had the heaviest impact on your self-esteem. If we can undo some of those possible misperceptions and dig for the truth in all of this, then I believe we'll make some speedy progress. All right, if you think it's for the best, then I'll ask them. Great. Dr. Kramer then changed his face expression and tone to a more serious nature. Celeste, what we did today has surfaced some hidden memories that will be of great value to our future appointments. In the meantime, you may find that images from these memories will come and go. Feel free to write them down and keep a log of what you remember, as well as your thoughts and feelings about them. Bring it to your next appointment. I will meet with you first, then both of your parents separately, and then we will all meet together." "Okay. Thanks, Walter, for all your help. You are a lot different than the other doctors I have worked with, and I appreciate that." "You're welcome. You have a bright future ahead of you, and I know you're destined to do great things." Celeste smiled as she exited his office and made her way to the front desk to reschedule. Whatever just happened in there already had made quite a difference. Images of bright colors and blurry silhouettes flashed in and out of her mind. Celeste was feeling strangely chipper and hadn't felt this way since her last encounter with Ezra. The thought of Ezra sent her lips into a wide smile. Somehow, she knew she'd see him again, real soon. And that was it for Chapter 8. Moving on to Chapter 9, The Confession. July 9th, 2012. Dear Jay, thank you for allowing me to share this intriguing case with you. Since I wrote last, additional components have made their way to the table, and things are getting very interesting. Today was very unusual indeed, as I implemented a session of hypnotherapy with my client. Having only been our 4th appointment, this is the first time I have applied hypnosis this early in a case. I was hoping that by doing so, it would allow me to open up some closed memories of my client so that I could better help her battle her demons. Really, I thought that all it would accomplish was discovering some unfortunate experiences from childhood, such as abuse or the witnessing of a horrific tragedy. As you know, the more relaxed a client is, the more non-threatening the environment becomes, and the more he or she is willing to disclose. Our session today seemed to fit that scenario perfectly. As I mentioned to you before, my client is very coherent and sensible. Her ESP abilities and paranormal experiences have led me to speculate that there is an additional element of psychosis at play here. I have reviewed her tests from previous doctors within the last 2 years, and I see no reason to conclude that her sanity is in any way abnormal. She is intelligent, social, and high-functioning on just about every level. I also don't believe she is fabricating any aspect of her story. It all appears to be very real to her. At the same time, I am not one to believe in the supernatural, and it seems that this is the very thing that my client is implying in regards to her experiences and encounters. While under hypnosis today, she began to speak of things that I cannot make sense of. At first, she describes experiences that I am already aware of, such as inadequate feelings in regards to her parents and becoming alienated in her fears and suffering. Then a complete curveball came when she began to talk about a meeting that involved some type of election. I had asked her to go back earlier in her life, and I can't make sense of her being involved in a type of political voting process during childhood. She spoke about some type of civil war, people being exiled and then seeking vengeance. She spoke of a special mission she is on and tools that were given to her, such as her ESP abilities. I'm telling you, Jay, this is something that you would only see in a movie, not in the real world, in a real professional practice. I can't wrap my head around it. I've been watching the video over and over again all evening long. If I allow my mind to wander, I can't help but envision some type of cultic experience she may have been referring to. I don't believe I should dismiss it, but I am unsure how to dissect and analyze it. I have asked that she bring her parents to our next appointment in hopes that they can shed some light. Worst case scenario, I expose some horrid family secret, or they use it as more reason to make false assumptions about their daughter. Despite of how they may react, I feel it's necessary that they understand what their daughter is going through and how they have unknowingly influenced her suffering and fear. I see her potential and such a bright future if she can resolve what it is that's plaguing her well-being. It's my goal to help her do so. I think that the reason I am so passionate about this client is that she reminds me a great deal of Shannon. Something about her mannerisms and character, it's almost uncanny. I see the wonderful qualities in her that are so much like Shannon's, and I want to bring those to the surface. In fact, I do have a confession to make. Lately, I find myself having these unexplained feelings for her, not in an inappropriate sense, but more on a level of deep care and concern. Yes, she's beautiful, and yes, she is single, but she is also my client. This has never happened to me before, and it's added a bit of a wrench in the wheel on my end. You can rest assured, however, that I am not willing to take advantage in any way of my role as her therapist or overstep any professional boundaries. I really hope that by involving her parents and trying to make sense of what she told me today, that I'm not opening up Pandora's box here. But if I am, then I'm prepared to deal with any consequences that may arise. I am committed to helping my client to whatever extent that may entail. Jay, I will keep you posted on this case over the course of our appointments. Sincerely, Walter. Okay, that's it for today's reading. Join me next week as we read Chapter 10, Just a Dream.